And we are live. Crypto Crazy, how are you doing today? I am doing excellent. Yeah, a little. I injured myself a little bit, but I'm healing and everything's good. Trying not to be cranky. Uh, Let him know that he can join and just turn his camera off when he's joined. I know he's got to join with the camera on and then turn it off. Yeah, getting used to new software and we'll get it all figured out.
Be giving away on the channel. So make sure you watch educational videos, figure out what you're doing in the space so you do not get wrecked. And for those that don't know what wrecked means, it means you lose your money. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you smash that like button so we can get this content out to more people. Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, let's ask the chat. Apparently, Crypto Crazy's voice was not going through on YouTube. Can you hear him now?
Oh, can you guys hear me? Check, check. Everyone can hear me?
Now it's all good. Okay, I
Okay.
will.
So what did you guys hear and what didn't you hear?
I just turned you on right now. For some reason, your phone it wasn't
Okay.
connected.
Okay. Okay.
Like, yay, you got live today.
All right, guys. Let me start over. Hi, how you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Today we are going to be going over a continuation of the last few weeks. We've been talking basically to newcomers to the space, and to get them going into this space we call crypto. And as I said, I'd like to remind you that nothing we say here is financial advice. Take it for education and entertainment purposes only. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, guys. Sorry about the glitches in the matrix. We changed services, and my patience is this thin. I think if we don't get this sorted out, we're just gonna get our asses back on StreamYard. But that's for another week. Okay, so again, I'll ask Dip, how are you doing today? I know everyone heard you already, but I'll ask you again.
I'll just leave it at I'm doing good this time.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so the chat can hear me. Everything's good. Awesome. All right, now this time for real. Let's get into it.
Okay.
Normally we start off with the state of the market. We bring up our guests, but we're not the only ones that are getting rugged and having issues. Our guests are as well. This is all, this is what happens when you start a new streaming platform. So I guess we will talk about it. A lot of crazy stuff happening in the market this week. Everyone was in euphoria earlier in the week. Everyone's screaming, "Oh, we're going to 100K, we're going to 100K," and then all of a sudden, the market had a different idea, and it retraced approximately 20%, which is a healthy correction. Anyone that's been in the market for a while, the way it is. You have these corrections all the time, so it's nothing new. It's completely expected, and it's actually healthy for the market. When we get a correction like that, the leverages get taken out, they get wiped out, the order books get reset, and it starts us for that next leg up. and it's necessary. We need it. And for those that are new to the space, don't be alarmed. It happens all the time. It's just part of the process.
Yeah, I was actually curious if there was anybody in the chat that's new to the space that got a little bit of a panic from that because what was the total dip there? Just over 10% or
Actually, I can
12%?
take a look right now. I believe, I'm sure people in the chat probably know. I'm going to do. You want to share my screen? I'll just do this right on stream.
Okay, just let me hook you up here or
All
not.
right, or not.
Or not.
All right. While you're dicking around with that, I will take.
Yes, so here you are. Ta-da.
Okay. So everyone can see the stream or the my screen here. So from top to bottom, we're looking at approximately 18%. Obviously, it depends on which exchange you're on. This is Bybit, so Bybit's showing about 18%. We might as well zip through this stuff while we're here. I'm not going to go on CoinMarketCap because it's doing stupid things to the computer, but I will tell you that the Fear and Greed Index is still up at around 82% or 82 out of 100. It did dip down as low as 76, but then with yesterday's pump back in the market, it brought the a little bit of euphoria back up. So here's the crypto bubbles on the week, as you can see. It's a sea of red, a few outliers like Phantom, Jupiter, Pith Network, and what's the other good one? None of them. Just a bunch of sea of red there. Quickly over to the Bitcoin halving countdown clock. We are at, I'll give this a refresh, 33 days, 23 hours, so 34 days, just over a month. April 24th is the ETA on that. That's super exciting. The Bitcoin halving is always something everyone looks forward to. Let's see. Going forward, we have the new poll. It just shows the net unrealized profit and loss. It was creeping up. We still are in the belief phase. As I mentioned last week, on the way down, it's denial, and then on the way up, it is belief. We're still in that phase now. A little bit of a dip at the end, but nothing too concerned about. And then the MVRB score, it as well took a dip. It was starting to get a little bit overheated as well. I don't mind it being down in this area. It just means we have a lot of time left in this bull market, which I believe we have at least a year. I'm not sure about your thoughts, Tip, but I think we have plenty of time left over. Okay, that's all I'm going to show this week for the markets.
Okay, yeah, my thoughts are this pump that we've had is because of the ETFs. I The reason I don't think that that's necessarily translating into the altcoin market is because everybody that's got into these ETFs, they're not in a self-custody position. So normally the
Right.
way the market would work is you have a Bitcoin run up and then liquidity spills from Bitcoin down into the altcoins.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe the next big phase coming this bull run is actually going to be a self-custody craze when people realize that they don't have to pay fees to hold crypto, and they're going to want to, as they're learning about Bitcoin, they're going to want to they're going to end up learning about other cryptos, and they're going to want to get into them. And there's no other way to do that than to actually self-custody yourself.
That's right.
Which actually comes into a lot of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And one thing I know, when I got into crypto early on, one of the things I had a hard time with was just understanding, connecting your wallet, how to use Wallet Connect, um, which tokens to buy, where to buy them, how to buy them, because sometimes it's not as easy as just a few clicks of a button. It is getting easier. They're making it a lot easier to do that, but there's still a few hoops you have to jump through. And as I alluded to earlier, we're going to be doing a video kind of going into detail on how to use one of the wallets. One of our favorite chains is the Solana blockchain, and Phantom is the number one wallet on that chain. It's fairly easy to use, but you can take that knowledge and apply it to all the other chains and all the other wallets like MetaMask and Trust Wallet, et cetera, et cetera. So I give people a little bit of a better idea of how to use it and what you can do with the wallets. I mean, they're not just wallets where you hold your tokens, but you can do all kinds of things on them like staking and those sorts of things, which we'll be going into a little bit here as well. Now, it's too bad we didn't have Chard on because he is a Solana bull, as well as Tyler Hill. Maybe he'll be on a future stream. But one of the things I found awesome is that Solana in the last month or so has had higher volume than ETH and Matic, for example, combined. The transaction fees, which if anyone knows that the Solana transaction fees are very, very low, Ethereum's are very, very high. Yet the amount of volume on the Solana blockchain, those fees that have been paid or generated are still exceeding both of those. And they're the two next ones. And then, of course, there's Base and Arbitrum and all the other ones as well. But Solana is just killing it. And AVAX is another one that it was up there, but Solana is still beating. Now, one thing I did want to talk to you about, Dip, today was there was a little bit of FUD going around. I call it Fugazi. If anyone follows Ivan on Tech, it's one of his favorite words, Fugazi. There's a little bit of FUD about Ethereum and the SEC going after them. I'm not sure, but do you have a take on that whole thing?
From what I've seen in the interviews I've seen from Dirty Gary, it seems to be legit. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when you were talking about Solana, I do believe this might be where you see Solana flipping ETH. Because if you look back to when the SEC started going after XRP as a security, mm-hmm. the dump that it got and how long it got to recover, and I believe that the people that are dumping Ethereum are going to be moving to that cheaper blockchain, and we'll get to see if Solana can handle the volume.
Well, it's no secret that the last 2-3 weeks it has definitely been meme coin season, and 90% of those meme coins have been on the Solana chain, and it has handled it perfectly. There was no outages, no downtime, no nothing. And we're talking millions and actually billions of dollars. One meme coin, I can't remember what it was called, Slurp, that's what it was. It did over $1 billion in volume in just a couple of days, and Solana, it held up perfectly fine. So I don't think we really have too many worries about the Solana stability. I know it did go down a few weeks back, but that was just extreme high volume just in the markets overall. But they are addressing that, and they are, new nodes coming in, and the chain is going to do a lot better, I believe. But going back to the Ethereum thing, I'm kind of on the same.
It looks like we do got chart here, so
okay.
Let me
call them up.
Call that up and make sure that everything's good here.
Okay.
Mr. Charts, are you there?
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Loud and clear on my end.
Beautiful, Mr. Chart. How you doing? Glad you could make it.
Thanks. Kind of like recovering from being a little bit sick, but I'm doing all right. Okay. Just trying to, weather the markets, just like I'm trying to weather my sinuses.
Well, I'll tell you what. Normally, you do a heck of a lot of speaking each week, and sometimes you take the show. But we'll just let you kind of sit back, comment when you want, because today I have a lot to say. So I'll kind of take that over for you. And
let's bring it. I want to hear it. Just bring it.
I was going to say, rumor has me trying to steal my job, and I'm not going to let that happen. Okay, so as I was saying, Dip, the Ethereum rumor or FUD or Fugazi, that I kind of agree with you that it's going to help Solana, but I thought that Solana was going to do much better than Ethereum in this bull market, regardless. But one point that I do not agree with you about is there is some legitimacy about it, but a lot of the FUD that's come out today was old news. And I mean, it is true that Ethereum has been named by Gensler. But I think when it comes down to it, see, at the same time, who controls the SEC and who controls America, for all intents and purposes, is BlackRock. And BlackRock has just announced that they are going to be filing for an Ethereum ETF. And not only an Ethereum ETF, but they plan on using the Ethereum blockchain for a tokenized investment fund. So there's no way that Ethereum is going to be deemed a security, and there's no way that BlackRock is going to allow the SEC to do any damage to Ethereum as a whole. I think it will stunt Ethereum's growth a little bit in this bull market, but I mean, with the rumors of an ETF coming, probably by May, I don't think it's going to do too much at all when it comes to Ethereum's price or the growth, and certainly not going to do anything like it did with XRP, because XRP, the price suppression over the last 3 years has been ridiculous. And even though XRP has been deemed a not security, the price is still being suppressed for one reason or another. I mean, there is still that issue as to whether or not the securities prior to I don't remember what date it was, sales of XRP being a security prior to a certain date. They still have that to settle, which I think is going to go into XRP's way. I think they'll either settle or they'll win outright, because Torres has already made it clear that she doesn't believe that XRP is a security. So that's just a little bit of finalizing to do. And then I think maybe XRP will go on a nice run. But back to Ethereum, it's all just a bunch of fugazi. I don't know what the reason is, maybe to keep Ethereum's price low so BlackRock can buy as much as they need to start their ETF and to start their trading fund. But whatever the reason is, it's all just more BS, and it's going to be swept under the rug. So we don't have any worries about that. I don't believe, in my opinion, anyway. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, from what I was hearing, BlackRock isn't just looking for an Ethereum fund. They were looking at a full tokenization fund as a whole, where they can invest in a whole portfolio of different cryptos and everything else. So I don't know. All it takes is someone at BlackRock to look at transaction fees and go, Solana's king. Get rid of Ethereum.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah. Now, Chart, I know you missed the very, very beginning, and apparently so did the audience. They couldn't hear me speaking because I my mic wasn't turned on. But anyway, I had mentioned that Solana's volume has been crazy, especially with meme coin season, and the chain has held up fine, no outages. The overall volume from Solana, meme coins and Solana itself, has outperformed Ethereum, AVAX, and Matic combined. Even though Ethereum's gas fees are outrageous, Solana still has done a lot better in overall volume and fees generated, or I shouldn't say generated, but paid. Now, I know, there's the last bull market, a lot of people were talking about Ethereum possibly flipping Bitcoin, however you want to pronounce it. And now I'm starting to hear the rumors about Solana flipping Ethereum this bull market. What are your thoughts on that?
First off, gentlemen, are we not surprised? Like, I'm not surprised this happened for Solana. I think when we interacted with Solana, we knew exactly what we're getting into. With the scalability and the speed of transactions, and the fees were so low that you knew this was going to eventually take over. Now, in terms of flipping, it's like, did ETH ever flip Bitcoin ever, right? And the answer is no. Even though we wanted to, it never happened. We talked about XRP flipping ETH. That never happened, right? We talked about Matic flipping ETH. That never happened. You know what I mean? So is there a possibility of this happening? Always there is a possibility, right? But is it going to happen? No. Because here's the thing, right? We just heard what's happening with ETH, right? Which is understandable. But like you just mentioned, they're trying to bring the prices down for a reason, right? How do you get the prices down to a reasonable level so you can actually make money initially as soon as you buy ETH? And that is to create some incredible FUD over the possibility of being security and whatever. And then, of course, the second they're all in and they're ready to go, they'll just say, you know what, we changed our minds. We actually do think Ethereum is not a security. We're going to make sure that it is deemed forever and ever. So this is the kind of game they play. I'm not surprised they're doing it right now. So they're loading up, they're ready to go. But I think ETH is going to be fine. The problem still is with ETH is transaction costs. When you're swapping and things like that, this is why the meme game is not a very, very good on ETH for that reason. It's really hard to go back and forth, spending $20 to $40 every single transaction. So Solana is obviously the king in that. Now, going from ETH to ETH wallet is actually still pretty good. So if you're selling ETH from one wallet to another, it's like $2 or less. So it's still pretty good. But if we're in the game to swap meme coins, you're swapping many transactions per day, probably you're not going to win that game. You're just not. So there will be a place for Solana for sure, up in the Rushmore of projects. So it's not going to go away anytime soon.
No, definitely not. Solana, there's no doubt that it not only does it, the transaction speeds, the transaction costs, almost everything that Solana does, that Ethereum does, Solana can do at a much lower cost. And the recent upgrade, it did do a little bit for L2s. I'm on a few projects, like on Arbitrum, for example, and I've seen the gas fees go from like 30, 40 cents per transaction down to 2 cents in some cases. So the layer 2s have come down a little bit after a few days, but Ethereum's have not, and I don't expect them to. And just a little correction there, Chad, I don't know if you remember, but XRP actually did flip Ethereum, but that was in, I believe, 2017 or 2017, but it was very brief. I don't think it's going to happen again. Ethereum is so far ahead. It's just kind of the wife to the granddaddy Bitcoin. But as for Solana, I think it's going to be right up there as the bull market goes on, and of course going forward. And I have officially changed my nickname for Solana is no longer going to be my redheaded stepchild. Solana is now my darling. So for the record, I am changing that term just so everyone knows. Now, okay, Dip. I know we wanted to talk a little bit about NFTs and staking. Did you still want to go ahead with that? I think.
Last week we did like the beginner crypto, and so I figured this week we'll move up to intermediate. So for the people that are self-custodying and that are new to the space, introduce them to ways to actually earn on the crypto. Yeah. So
okay. Well, I'll go ahead first. Now, for the record, I have a strategy on a lot of my investing. If anyone hasn't caught, our investment strategy and portfolio strategy video, check it out on the channel. But I have a strategy, and one thing I don't necessarily do during a bull market is stake. The reason for that is during a bear market, it's a great time to stake because you can put your capital in, set it, forget it. The price does go down, but you earn your tokens from staking. And then when the bull market starts up, you've got a nice big bag. Although there are some platforms that I am staking that are fairly new, and I can actually show real quick here exactly what I mean. If you wanted to show my screen again, Mr. Dip.
Okay.
And then I can just give an example of staking. Basically, what you do with staking is you take your crypto that you own, you stake it on a platform, and you earn either the same asset or a different asset. You earn a certain % yield, and then you can build your bag that way. So I will show my example here on Dojo Swap, which is part of the Injective ecosystem. Now, I am currently in a pool. I show this on my updates for my LP liquidity pools. I'm in a pool for Dojo and Injective. And so what happens here is I'm earning Dojo from this LP pool. Now, what I do with this Dojo that I earn, I stake it. So if I come over to earn and come down to the Ninja Vault.
Ninja.
Okay, come down here to the Ninja Vault. This kind of shows exactly my balances. Now, if I go into the actual vault itself, here is where I'm staking Dojo. So each week when I collect my rewards from my LP pool, I will deposit my Dojo in here, staking it. Currently earning 119% APY. So I'm holding Dojo for the bull market. So instead of holding it in my wallet and just sitting there doing nothing, you might as well stake it. Now, because this is a fairly new platform, the yield is a decent size. Normally, when you stake a crypto, depending on what it is, you earn anywhere from, well, as low as 5%, and it can go up to sometimes as high as 20%. Now, the reason this one is so high because this platform is fairly new. And as a bull market approaches, the yields tend to get less and less simply because of being in a bull market. That's the advantage of staking in a bear market, because the APYs are, traditionally a little bit higher. So you're building your bag and it costs you absolutely nothing. So that's one example of staking on staking your crypto. The way I do it, like I said, I'm earning yield on top of yield. So I'm taking my profits from my LP pools and I'm staking that said asset that I am gaining from that. Now, the other thing we wanted to discuss is, stop sharing that, is staking NFTs. Now, Chard, I'm glad you actually made it, because I know you have spoken before about the Degens project. That is actually the one I'm going to be showing. But before I do, maybe, I know you're probably getting tired of explaining it all the time, but I know you do love the Degens as a project. So maybe if you give it a quick rundown again, and then I will show exactly what I'm doing with my Degens NFTs.
So for our purposes, we have 4 collections. Each of the collections has a varying utility, and so we allowed everyone to practically use the NFTs for different purposes. Some of them actually unlock the entire Discord and all the features in the Discord. Some of them actually have staking rewards, higher staking rewards. So it all depends on which NFT you actually own, and certain ones obviously give you bonuses with it. And within the staking mechanism itself, each NFT grants you 1 Degens token, and then we have also set up in a way that it rewards those who stake for a longer period of time. I think every 60 days we have an additional token added to each NFT that's being staked. So the longer you stake, the more you earn, essentially. Mm-hmm. And it's done through anybody's platform for now, because right now it gives us a lot of functionality in terms of adding more features within each staking mechanism. So we have like boosters, for example. One of our NFT collections is actually a boosting collection. And so we can apply that booster to each individual NFT that we have that allow you to stake and earn more as a result of that. So it's kind of fun. A fun little aspect about staking NFTs. We haven't introduced anything extra yet, but we're going to work on that. And Stylus has been really, really busy with her NFT and NYC appearance. So we're working on that in the background, and I'm doing some other stuff with the Vandals project. But in terms of the NFT staking itself, it's a fun tool to incentivize people to hold NFTs, and it's a nice bonus that we actually can earn tokens as a result.
Awesome. Well, that's a great segue, because a lot of NFT collections, they really don't have any utility. And what I love about the Degens is not only does it have current utility with all the the plethora of information you get on your Discord, which, by the way, the link to the Discord is in the description. So all the information you get on the Discord, the early calls, the different farming and staking information that you get on there, not to mention the future utility coming with the Degens token. So very, very bullish. I've Mr. Dip, if you want to share my screen again, I've actually.
Well, I would love to, but you disconnected it. No, we put it back.
I put it back. Yeah, sorry. I changed it and accidentally took that out. So I just want to show basically how it works on Anybody's. You did mention Anybody's as the platform, which I have staked. Just let me know when the screen is sharing there.
The screen is up.
All right. Okay, so here's the platform, the Anybody's platform. When you purchase your NFTs through the Degens, you can stake them on this platform. So currently, here are mine. I don't have a super amount, but I do have 3 Radiated Boys, 3 Degen Boys, and as Chard alluded to, when it comes to boosters, I do have a booster as well right here, and the Degen Piranha boosts one of my Degen Boys. So here it is. Yeah, you, as Chard alluded to as well, the longer you stake, the more bonus you get. And as you can see, these ones down here have had a little longer, so I've got bonus on those. And then you can keep track of your rewards on the reward screen. Now you can also withdraw these to your wallet anytime, which I do periodically. I haven't done it in a little while, but it just continues to earn. And of course, there will be a future utility for the DGens token. But for right now, it is highly recommended that if you do own DGens NFTs, to make sure you do stake them, because it will definitely be worthwhile in the future when the ecosystem expands. So that's just a quick rundown on staking of NFTs.
It's a fun way to do that because, we've bandied around whether or not we wanted to keep staking or not for quite some time, actually. And every time we get to the point where we say, let's not do staking, everyone asks, do you have staking?
Yeah.
And so the demand for staking is super, super high all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the idea is really, really fun. And we have reward systems that we can build on top of.
Yeah.
And it's nice, so.
It's always fun to stake anyway, to watch the NFTs doing something instead of sitting in your wallet doing nothing. Because when I was heavy into NFTs last bull market, it was on the crypto.com or the Crow ecosystem. And when those, buying those NFTs and everything are fun, but there's no utility behind. And with these, one thing I do enjoy as well is on the Discord, you often have raffles where you raffle off an NFT, and you can use your DGens tokens that you're staking for to win those raffles, which I think is a really neat idea. It gives a little bit of utility, and who doesn't like a free NFT?
Of course. And then the one thing we haven't announced yet, but which I can probably say here, is we're going to have auctions as well using DGens. So, nice. This is why you got to stack them.
Yep. Okay, so that's just one example of NFT staking. Anybody who's not part of the DGens Discord or the project itself, hop in there, take a look. Many different channels, a lot of good crypto, not advice, but crypto strategies. And, you have your self-chart. There's, the names are eluding me, but there's
Injustice. Yeah, he runs the staking. The farming department.
Right.
He's the ultimate farmer, and he gives all the guides necessary for you to be able to farm every single chain, every single token, every single project. I mean, he's really into it, into the weeds, so to speak, and he creates great guides on how to do it. So if you don't care about trading and things like that, you want to just farm. You can honestly do just that and get all the full value from holding, I believe it's 5 to get access to that. So 5 of the DGen boys or 1 of the tier 1 radiated boys. So right. Either or works fine.
Yep. So anyone just hop in the Discord and ask any questions you want in the general chat. There's always somebody there to answer. Okay, Mr. Dip, what would you like to talk about next? There's so much, but I just...
Yeah, well, I'd just like to add, going way back now, when you're showing the staking, most of your on-ramps, the Binance and the Crypto.com and all that, they all provide staking options.
Yes.
And Crypto.com is going with an NFT option as well. But yeah, like you said, it's very low utility. A lot of it's find out what's hyped, get the pre-sale, and dumps if you're going to make money on platforms like that. But there's a lot of Solana NFT platforms as well. Like you, I'm not huge on staking during a bull market because you can do very well just dollar cost averaging in and out of the market with the pumps and dumps and the volatility that helps you earn a lot. But there are a lot of I can't even say a lot of projects. There are projects like DGens where it just gives you access to the knowledge of Chart Davidson for a portfolio, which would take years and years and years and years and years to build. So if you're new to the space, it doesn't matter if we're in a bull market or a bear market. You can really
we also just to add to that, we also talk about these kinds of things as well in our Discord, like the benefits of staking tokens, not NFTs but tokens, versus not staking them in the bull market. The issue with a lot of them is they have lockup periods that are much longer than you want to have in a bull market. If you have something small like 12 days, 15 days, okay, you can kind of deal with that. 30 days is not bad as well. When you get into these higher APRs, higher percentages of return, then you got to be locking it up for a year. And if you do that, you're going to miss the entire bull market. The opportunity cost is way higher in that regard than you would get something out of staking. So I would strongly discourage people from staking unless it's like short periods, like 7, 14 days, 12 days, something like that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I actually forgot about that. That was the other reason why I recommend not staking in a bull market, is because of the lockup periods. Whereas in a bear market, they tend to last anywhere from 2 to 3 years. So there's no problem locking it up for a year or 2 years. The other thing I wanted to mention as well is, when you're getting into crypto as a beginner, and even if you've been in for a few years, a seasoned veteran, it's easy to spot. It's not easy to spot decent projects and decent teams, but when you do find one, such as the degens, you have content for beginners all the way up to seasoned veterans in the crypto space. So that's one of the great things as well about a project like degens. Now, as for the staking, the other thing the reason I don't like to stake in bull market as well is because we always preach here on the channel, Dip and I, not your keys, not your crypto. Make sure you have a hardware wallet to store your crypto. A lot of these hardware wallets, I know some do, like Ledger, for example, does, but a lot of these platforms that offer staking, you're basically handing over your crypto and you're taking a chance of something happening with that platform. You never know when it comes to crypto. You never know how strong a project is or how strong a chain is, because look what happened with FTX. Everyone knows by now. So you don't want to take that chance. So you don't want to leave your crypto on basically unsecure. That's another reason why I won't really do it in a bull market.
Okay, I'm going to take the opportunity right now and share the word of the week. This is the last week for our Elapal giveaway. This is the last word, property. So if you go back to the last 4 live streams, unfortunately on YouTube, last week's live stream was posted as a regular video. So if you haven't seen it, you'll have to look for it. But that's the last. And then in the description, there's the email address where you can send us the phrase with a screenshot of a subscription. And next week we'll do a live draw and pick from a hat.
Awesome. I know hindsight is 2020. What would have been great when you did the word announcement on these 3 past videos, we should have had, was that Bruce Buffer or whatever his name is? It's time. That would have been great. Just a thought I had.
That's a sound effect I don't have.
Yeah, a little too late. Maybe that could be the intro after our main intro on the weekly stream. Anyway, I digress. So again, I know, Chart, you're not feeling the greatest, but do you have anything, going on that's different you haven't announced on the stream previously? Anything new in the world of your crypto?
No, but one thing I mentioned before for everyone to pay attention to is the RWA sector, right? Like the real world asset sector.
Yeah. And
I said to everyone many times, be wary of one little thing that can set off the entire sector, like a news event, like a report, something. And I saw either yesterday, I can't remember, or today, it was posted on CoinGecko, a full overview on real world assets, how tokenization is going to take over the next few years. Full report on how it's going to benefit everybody and so on and so forth. And what do you know, right? The entire RWA sector is exploding. I mentioned it on Space today. It's still going on right now. I have some of the assets are up 70%, 33%, 20%, 31%, like full send, because the consolidation was so long in this sector. Now it's just ready to go, and volume supports it. And I'm so happy that those who were actually listened and they were adding and they were looking through the many projects that were in that category are finally reaping the rewards. Because there's so much out there, and then there's so many undervalued projects, like the ones we talked about before, like Oculus, for example, was up to almost 20% today. There's Defactor, was up 31%. Then you have Prop C up 27%. C Pool 32%. Credit, which is a credit project, it deals with credit systems and things like that, up 32%. 70%, up 70% today. So Boson, for example, which we talked about so many times, up 26%. So that section, or that sector in total, is being sent right now, and I'm so happy for those who have been buying for a long time.
And to add to that, another sector that's kind of riding the wave with it are a lot of deep end projects as well.
Yeah.
Really undervalued. The RWA, the deep end. I mentioned also today the insurance section, because they haven't been touched at all yet. I think they're still under 1 billion market cap as a whole basket of projects. So they have still a long way to go. But yeah, DPEN is about 27 billion, I believe. RWA is like just under 7 billion, like super undervalued.
Tiny.
Tiny fractions of what everyone else is.
Yep. Yeah, I get the chills just thinking about it. I'm getting super excited about this bull market, because I'm glad we had the correction we had. We were certainly overheated. Leverage was just out of control. So all that has been reset. A lot of people are saying that, the 20% wasn't quite enough, but I disagree. Another big reason for the correction was Grayscale continuing to dump. They had a record day yesterday in the amount of GBTCs that they dumped, and that BlackRock and Fidelity, they had kind of a slow day when it came to their buying. So it was a red day for the ETFs, and that's one of the big reasons for the dump. And then, of course, a lot of people that had bought, down in the 40,000 range, they were well in profit, and they were taking profits on the dip. But I think with the amount of volume that's coming in, I believe there was close to 200 billion in total volume in the crypto space, and the bullishness and the strength of Bitcoin. I think that 20% would have equated to a 35% or 30% in previous markets. So we're off and running. I'm excited. I think we've reset, and we'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, and looking at the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, it's actually fully reset. Actually, it went up to like almost $60, or actually $65, and straight down it goes to the previous resistance that's now turned support, which is at about $54. And then the technicals are fully reset. RSI on the 4 hour is at 50. The MACD is now fully reset as well. So it's going to be just another pump coming up, straight to almost 100. So people are going to be talking about it pretty soon. And let's see what happens.
Yeah, one of the catalysts we said, sorry, I know, Dip, I'm not letting you get a word in edgewise, but one of the catalysts that we've always talked about is to give an indication of retail being in, or that the FOMO is starting, is when, friends and family start talking about it, and when the mainstream media starts talking about it. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Pompliano. They call him Pomp. He's been on quite a few financial, like traditional financial networks, talking about Bitcoin and talking about the current price action and how Bitcoin is doing. And a lot of these traditional finance people, they have a lot of questions. They're actually curious. They seem to be interested again. So that the FOMO is about to start and retail is about to get in.
Yeah, Anthony Pompliano, he's becoming real mainstream as a voice for the crypto market or the Bitcoin market, and he's a very smart guy. I just wanted to go back and just reiterate for people that are new to the space, the real world assets that you're seeing, that chart mentioned, it's really important to keep an eye on those, because those are the type of projects that you're going to see not just this bull run, next bull run, the bull run after, because they have that real utility. That's stuff that you will see move up into that top 100 on the crypto market and everything else. So yeah, that was definitely an alpha drop on Chart's part there.
Absolutely. Good job, Chart, on that one. Yeah, a lot of the, we'll call it real world utility, not just the real world assets, but those are going to be sectors that are going to go on and on and on. They're going to be mainstays in crypto, just like DeFi. NFTs to a point. I mean, they'll always be around. Whether or not the actual NFT utility mirrors what it looks like now, it will move on. But that's what, anyone new getting into the space, you can, invest in a coin that your roommate told you about. But, for true utility and longevity and tokens that are going to be around for a while, look at projects that are dealing with real world issues and provide real world utility. And that's, you can never go wrong.
Yeah, if we're doing tokens that your grandma recommended, that bull run, we're at peak. It's time to sell.
Yeah, well, the token my grandma would recommend would be Litecoin or something like that. Something that was here a long time ago that ain't going to do much. Although Litecoin has been doing well, they've changed their course, but that's a different story. But yeah, you're right about that. Don't follow grandma.
Okay, is there anything else?
Don't crap on Litecoin. They're still doing good.
Yeah, I know they are, but they're just one of the ones that people recognize. That's all. Like, even if you're not really into crypto, everyone's heard of Litecoin.
Yeah,
of course. I still have a Litecoin miner at home, which I haven't dusted off in a few years. So
yeah, right.
I can put it to good use. Maybe I'll melt it down for some Litecoin. I don't know.
You should have just left it mining and forgot about it. And
no, that doesn't work. It was actually going to be making me less than I would pay in electricity. So that would work.
Kind of like Bitcoin mining in a bear market.
Well, think about it. Like, it actually uses 1,200 watts of power.
Yeah, it's like running a heater constantly.
Yeah, it heats the entire basement. It's great.
That's hilarious. Speaking of being obsolete, yeah, I saw a chart. I should have actually pulled it up. I'd have to look for it, but it showed all the Bitcoin miners that come the halving, whatever that is, April 23rd as of now. They will pretty much be obsolete. You'll be in a deficit if you use them, and there's quite a few that can no longer sustain profit. Because
it's funny though, because that's going to in turn lower the hash rate, right? The hash power, which will signal a dip. So now, like, that tells me that we might actually have a dip right after or right before the halving event. So
it's possible. But in that article, they also did say that a lot of these miners that currently are using the older models, they have the newer models ready to go, and they're just gonna, wait and then activate them. They're gonna get as much as they possibly can out of the old ones until then.
But then begs the question: why wouldn't they activate them right now?
As I said, the article said that they want to get as much out of the old ones as they possibly can before they take them offline.
But that doesn't make any sense to me, because think about it, right? If they already have them ready to go now, why would you not put them in to get as much as you can now before the halving?
Yeah.
Right? Because then your reward systems are going to be 50% less, right?
Maybe
so you might be like employing them right now.
Maybe it's the hydro cost. I'm not sure of the reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually waiting for the day that one of these Bitcoin miners just comes up with like some ultimate renewable energy source, fully on the go, mining Bitcoin for free. Like, they've tapped into a hot water source in the earth, and they're making 100% of their electricity. I know it's being worked on right now, and it's being dabbled with, but to just
Salvador has it made, right? Salvador is doing the volcanic power.
Yeah,
right.
And I think Texas is going to be doing something with renewable energy as well.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
You can do hydro energy as well. Employ the currents in the water.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have your own hydroelectric dam that just ran your miners 24/7.
Yeah.
You'd love it when it rains.
Over did.
We're just gonna confiscate a national landmark. Start mining Bitcoin.
You guys mind? I need to buy some Bitcoin. I need to borrow your Hoover Dam operation for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Don't mind us.
Here's $100. Go gambling.
For 5 minutes. I wanna hook something up. Go ahead.
I'm pretty tapped on topics right now. You got anything else?
Did you want me to go over the LP pools real quick? I've been doing it every week. I might as well.
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
I know that there are some people that have asked me, how are they doing, and they like when I share it. So I might as well. Let's see here. We'll start off with, there we go. Yeah, sorry, I disconnected it again. Dip, I wasn't sure I was going to be doing this.
Oh, that's why I'm not.
Yeah, that's why you're not seeing it. But I figure I'll go over them again because I know a lot of people are following along, not doing what I'm doing, but they like to see the progress. So I don't mind showing it at all.
There we go. Now we don't have to see two of you.
Two of me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me... Oh. Yeah, it shut down on me. Let me just connect my wallet. Sorry about this, folks. Okay.
Everybody write it down. Write it down.
No. It's automatic login. Just kidding. Okay, so I'll start off with Orca. Now, for those that don't know, I did open a new one on here. I don't believe I had the Jupiter Soul on here last week because it was on Radium, but it went out of range and it stayed out for. Typically, I like to wait 24 to 48 hours, depending on what the price is going to do. And it appeared to me, or at least to me anyway, that it wasn't going to go back in range, and it didn't. So what I did is instead, because Radium has been a little bit iffy lately, so I opened it up on Orca. So currently, I have a Crown USDC, a Chat Soul, and a Jupe Soul on Orca. And so far, it's been doing great. I collect my rewards every Sunday. And so far, I've earned $181 in yield on all these different assets, which every single one of these I plan on keeping throughout the bull market. So I do not mind holding them, and I just keep collecting my profits. And it's kind of filling my bull market bag. Camino, we did the video on, again. I'm going to have to, hold on.
Camino, the one that takes 15 years to load?
No, that's Radium. That's why I kind of got off of...
You're killing them right now. You're absolutely killing them.
Killing what? What am I killing? Oh, you're talking about dip? Okay. More technical.
Let's watch Crazy learn pewters.
Telling you. It's not showing my... I learned what?
Pooters. Crazy's learning pooters.
There we go.
Are you getting drugged in real time right now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. I am. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I thought I was going to get drugged in real time. Okay, here we go. Here's Camino. We did a dedicated video on our liquidity pools not too long ago because Camino is on a point system, and we wanted to make sure we got that information out before the season 1 ended, which ends at the end of this month. Season 2 is actually going to begin on March 24th. So what's happening here is Camino, for those that don't know, they're coming out with their own native token, KMNO token. So right now they are doing a point system for an airdrop when that token is launched. So the more of these different functions that you use on the Camino site, the more points you earn. So currently my portfolio net value 2.94K. It was doing a heck of a lot better a couple of days ago, but it's still doing not bad at all. As you can see here, I've collected $48 in fees. My Render Soul LP pool, I'm up $264 on that. I've lent 2.3 Soul, and then I borrowed USDT on that Soul just to earn points for the upcoming airdrop. And then my Solana long position currently sitting at $990 in profit on a $900 investment. So Camino is doing really well. No complaints with this. The website's quick. It's not like Radium where, a little bit glitchy and slow. And I follow their Twitter and their Telegram as well. They're always coming up with information. They're very active. And this is going to be a really big DEX on the Solana network, in my opinion. Of course, not financial advice. Anything can happen. Over to Over to Turbos, which is on the Sui chain. This is another one of my favorites. I'm going to be holding my Turbos and Sui throughout the bull market. Currently, this one is doing well. Turbos USDC. The reason I know I had mentioned before that I was getting out of any of the liquidity pools with USDC, which I plan on doing here as well. The reason I haven't is because they haven't gone out of range. They've stayed in range all this time. So I'm just going to keep collecting the fees in the meantime. Sui has had a nice pump the last day or two. Turbos did as well, actually. So they're paying incredible APR, 302% on Sui USDC and almost 200% on the Turbos USDC. So I'll keep collecting that. And the last one, which I know we already touched on when it came to staking, is my dojo on the injective chain. And then I showed the staking as well earlier. So these are two others that I'm going to maintain holding throughout the bull market, Injective and Dojo. So that is an update on that. I don't want to go too much into that, so I will end it there. So far they're doing really well. I can't complain, really happy. Even when we had the dip, I stayed in range because I picked a broad enough range of the price action. It doesn't really matter to the upside, to the downside. Now, as the bull market rages on, and the prices start going up a lot more, I'm clearly going to have to adjust my ranges once they go out, especially if it's on a bull trend. But I'm not too worried about that. It just means that I'm still, my assets are appreciating, and the APYs are going to stay fairly high as the bull market rages on. That's my report on the LP pools.
Excellent. Yes, I see those comments as well. People requesting to see how they're doing, and it looks like they've grown substantially since you started. So yes. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
So we're at about an hour right now. I think Chart needs a hot toddy, and I appreciate him coming when he's not feeling well.
Yeah, much appreciated.
No problem, guys. I always like to come around and talk crypto with you guys.
We appreciate the support, and anyone who's on Twitter at noon on Thursdays Eastern time. If you're not doing much, check out Chart's stream. They have the DGens. What is the name of the stream again? I always forget.
DGens Crypto Weekly with Friends, and
right.
I think we just finished episode 28, which marks like at least half a year's worth of episodes. You can basically pick any of them and see that we pretty much predicted most of those markets. So.
Yeah, you do a great job at explaining the market, and you have your token of the week, and you go over pretty much the market overall, and it's a great listen and a lot of information in there. So tune in Thursdays noon Eastern on Twitter Spaces for DJs and company.
Okay, so let's close this out. Remember the email address to enter the LPL giveaway contest is in the description. Thank you everyone for watching, and
don't forget to like on your way out.
Don't forget, that's a good idea. Hit like and share and help us grow, and we can fumble in front of lots more people. It'd be fantastic.
This will get better, we promise. Once we get a handle on this whole new platform. I like the new platform. I will admit, I really like the overall look. So we'll get it nailed down. No problem.
Yeah, we're moving on to the big boy software instead of the internet service. So it'll take a bit of time, but we'll get better at it. All right. Thanks everybody. Have a good week.
Thanks everyone. See you next week.
Bye everyone. See you next week.